this video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite loot runs. If you have problems making money, or you just have a wish to be extremely loaded this wipe, then you need to watch this video. This route is going to be perfect for newer players and those of you who are having trouble surviving raids. The run takes place on woods, and the amount of spawns we're going to be visiting is honestly pretty crazy. The only thing I recommend you bring, aside from a set of gear of course, is 5,000 rubles for the car extract and the CB14 key if you can get your hands on it. Having both of these, especially the rubles, can make it a lot easier to extract and make it out alive with your profits. Before we begin, let's get a quick overview of the route. The areas we are going to be visiting are all along the side of the map here. We steer clear of the lumber mill and the military camp, since this is where you're most likely to run into somebody. With that said, I think we should just get started with the run. I spawned down by the UN roadblock and made my way towards the old sawmill. I'll talk a little more about routes and spawns at the end of the video, but let's just jump right into it. In the old sawmill, you want to head for this tank first and hit up this weapon box. Next, we head over to this little worker shack where there is a duffel bag on the couch. Come outside and head towards the small building in the middle of the sawmill. In the server racks and on the floor in front of them here are technical spawns. There's also a weapon box and a toolbox in here. Move back outside and head over towards the blue car. There's a duffel bag on the back seat and industrial spawns on the front seat. Inside the big building, we've got industrial spawns on the floor in front of the green boxes and on top of them, and a technical supply crate right next to it. Above it is a weapon box and attachments on the green table. Make a little jump across here and come over to this weapon box. Turn around, hit up the ration supply crate over here. Once you're done with that, come downstairs and check out this shelf where you can get industrial spawns, then head up the hill outside. In this shack, we're gonna get rations on the bed and on the table, and a toolbox by the end of the bed. Follow the road and there's a weapon box in front of the tank with an M4 spawning next to it. Continue along the road and there's a barrel cache in this concrete circle. Turn back around, but don't run down the road with the tank on it. We're heading for the Scav town now. It's a good idea to keep an eye out for scavs or even players at this point, as this can be a pretty popular destination from time to time. When coming from this side, I like to take this approach to the town as it feels a little safer. Out back by the small pond, there's a rare spawn beneath the bridge, as well as rations. You get ammo here on the ground. Inside the yard here, I check these three surfaces for industrial spawns and then head towards the shed. In the shed there's two toolboxes and industrial spawns on the tables. Keep watching out for the scavs here. But remember to come inside the house as well. In the kitchen we've got whiskey, sugar, even moonshine spawning on the counters in the table. At the back of the house you get a chance for a GPU in this cardboard box. And a Bitcoin underneath the bed here. You gotta lay down to look for the white dot though. Hit up the duffel. And the rations on the table. Upstairs there's another duffel. Make your way outside and keep watching out for the scavs. They can be quite annoying in this part. Come over towards this building, and in the front here you've got industrial spawns on this table. Rations inside, as well as a duffel bag. Make your way upstairs where we have three rare spawns. First under the bed here, you gotta lay down to see it. Next in the cabinet, and lastly under the second bed. Make your way back downstairs, and on this ironing board you've got ammo and rations. Out in the garage you've got industrial spawns on the counters, as well as a toolbox. The scavs can be all around when you come outside, so keep watching out. Then make your way into the last yard here. In this blue container you've got ammo and a grenade box. Then as you make your way around the building, watch all these surfaces here where you can get industrial spawns. In the shed there's spawns on the floor and all of these boxes, as well as the barrels over here. There's even a chance for moonshine on the blue barrels. On the floor next to the green barrel is a fuel spawn. And on the shelves all around the toolbox is a chance for industrial spawns. Now we can head inside, and in the kitchen there's rations on all of the tables and the counters. On the bench here as well. In the small room there's a spawn on the bed, on the table and the box. There's also a duffel. Make a little jump and you got more rations on the table and the bed, as well as a grenade box and a duffel bag. At this point I'll usually choose to extract if the car is up. As you can see, I have a good amount of loot on me already, plenty at least to be worth an extract. For the sake of this video, I'm going to do the full run though, which I rarely do in a live raid, so keep that in mind. From here, I make my way towards the abandoned town, but there's also two stashes that I want to hit up along the way. First one is over on this hill here. Watch out when you're coming down these rocks. There's a good chance for some fractured legs if you fall too far. Set your aims on the next hill where the second stash is. Look for this bush, and you're gonna have the stash right in front of it. Now for the abandoned town. Down in this building here, you get meds spawning on the floor and on the bench, rations in front of the oven, a duffel in the corner, and then there's 3 rare spawns in the tent, 2 inside and 1 in the opening. Come outside and make a left. Keep your eyes out for scavs here as well, they can be really dangerous in the tall grass. And here is a rare spawn in the bush, it can be hard to spot, so look for the white dot. Check out the stash as well. Then come outside and head towards the church. There's a scav here I had to deal with. Down in the boat here, there's 2 rare spawns on the floor of the boat. Up in this tower, there's also rare spawns all around, even on the side here, as you see. Over in this building, you get a spawn in the bucket and on the mattress. As you can see, I thought there was a rare spawn down here, but it was the ammo bugging me out. Come over into this building, ammo on the table, rations between the beds, rare spawn in the PC room here, more rations on these 2 beds, and then we're gonna head for the tractor. Dispatch of this scav here real quick. At the right front wheel of this tractor, there's a chance for a fuel spawn, as well as inside this shed over here is another fuel spawn. There's also ammo on the table and in the box out here. Next, there's a toolbox under this upside down boat. Be a little cautious with the scavs here, as they can really hide in a lot of places. We're coming up on the marked circle, where you got rare spawns on the floor. They can be a bit difficult to spot though. Make your way around this building. And inside here, in all 3 bushes, is a rare spawn. Come down towards the boathouse. And I had some trouble with a scav here. Once I fought him off, he took out my arm. I had to fix that up, and we're ready to move on. In the boat here is 2 rare spawns and a toolbox on the side. Come back across the road and there's a moonshine spawn on this little table. And in this building here we've got a lot of rare spawns. On the bench, in the box, on the barrel, next to the barrel, on the bed here, and over on these boxes and on the floor is rations and ammo. You also got ammo in the box here. Come outside and check the toolbox, which means we're done with the scav town. Now we can start moving towards the scav bunker, which is not very far. Up here there's usually scavs, so get ready for a fight. After dealing with the local population, come into the shack, where you got ammo and rations on the bed, as well as a rare beneath this bed over here. Sometimes you gotta lay down to see it. You also have a grenade box and a wooden box. Take care of the last defender, and you're gonna have a fuel spawn next to this generator. There's also a wooden crate over by the end of the containers. Next, you check all the tables, as there's a chance for whiskey and sugar to spawn. Upstairs is a chance for moonshine on both of these tables, and a Bitcoin next to the duffel bag. Seems there was one more scav I had to fight. Come back down and there's a ration supply crate and ammo on the table. Now make your way over to the bunker area. Keep fighting off the scavs and then you can loot this grenade box when you're ready. Normally I don't loot too much above ground here, it's really the bunker only I come for. Before you loot it though, I recommend you clear it out for scavs first. Then we can start looting. In this bed here, there's a rare spawn which you gotta check closely for. Rations on the table, as well as a rare spawn beneath this bed. There's also one on top of this one, and a duffel bag on the couch. Come out into the first room, and there's rations on the table, and tech spawns around on the server racks. Toolbox on the floor, and a duffel bag up here in the entrance. Alright, then we can make our way towards the USEC camp, which is the final destination. On the way, we're gonna hit this stash over next to this big rock. From this angle, I can also get a quick look towards USEC camp and see if I can spot any movement. As I come closer, I like to slow things down just a little bit, as this is one of the places where you're most likely to run into people on this route. The USEC camp is known for its good loot, and in particular its lead spawn, so it's worth to take a second to check things out here. Once you feel safe, you can check out for an M4 next to this bed area, and the lead can spawn on top of this surgery table, as well as on the floor, I believe. Attachments on this table, and a weapon box behind it. Check out the technical supply crate. Then we got a fuel spawn in the entrance of this tent, and another ration supply crate. Another fuel spawn on the floor. Weapon box over here, and attachments on the green table. When I come from this side, I like to jump up on this rock so I can get a bit of an overview of the rest of the camp. There's an M4 spawning back here. Rations and ammo on these boxes, and out front. Come inside the tent and you're gonna have 2 rare spawns on the right side of this last bed here. The horse on the floor there was dropped by somebody else. We also have a weapon box and a medical supply crate. Finally get that splint I was missing. In the driver's seat of both cars is a chance for a modded M4, and there's a weapon box at the back of the pickup. Rations on the table. They even missed a chocolate even though somebody already came through. Technical supply crate over here. Check out these surfaces for attachments. And then you got a rare spawn in between these beds here and under the rock. There's also a weapon box at the back. Attachments on the table here. And finally, the last weapon box. And that's the full run. Before I end the video though, let's talk a bit about the logistics of this whole thing, because woods can be a bit confusing for new players. I want to quickly mention mapgenie.io. This is where I get all my maps from, and it's a great source of information when playing Tarkov. Load it up on your second monitor or on your smartphone, and you're able to toggle what you want to be showed on the map. It's really clever, and I can't recommend using it enough. Now, the first thing you want to do when you spawn in is try to find out exactly where you are. This can be a bit challenging though, and even after doing a lot of woods raids, I still get momentarily confused sometimes, because it all just looks so similar. Once you've determined where you are, check your extracts and head in that direction while following the route. The car extract is usually an option to consider, but since it's not always there, you should prepare for some longer runs. If you don't know your way around woods yet, it's going to take a couple of raids before you're moving around confidently, but give it some time. Oh, and don't forget, there are mines on woods as well, and the most dangerous ones to watch out for is this minefield next to the USEC camp. Unlike the border of the map, there are no signs here to warn you, so you simply have to avoid this area. If you do suddenly find yourself in said minefield, don't worry too much. I think we've all been there. So get in there and fill up your pockets, my fellow Tarkovians. And also, I stream on YouTube and Twitch, so come in and watch me fail miserably. Here's a guide you don't want to miss, and thank you for watching.